So I traveled to Boise for a couple days and visited our Dharma friends in Boise, and went to a prison in Idaho near Boise. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. It was quite interesting. It was the first time that any Buddhists went and visited the Dharma group there. And to get into a prison, there's a lot of paperwork that has to be filled out and sent in and processed. And so it's quite a long, extended process to be able to get in, which in itself is quite interesting. How hard it is for some people to get in, and for others how hard it is to stay out. So it's quite interesting. But anyhow, so we arrived there, Jack and I, and went up to the desk, and after going through a couple big, huge gates with rolled barbed wire all over them, and got to the desk, and they had no information about us coming, had no idea. So it didn't seem too promising, but the person at the desk was very kind, and she went and got the deputy warden, who saw us and said, well, we're going to have movement for about 10 minutes here soon, so I have about that long to try and figure this out to see if we can get this cleared so you can come in. So off she went. And so we sat down and waited. And the thing about the movement is, in prisons there are certain times when inmates can move, and when visitors can come in, and when that time is over, then that's the end of it. You can't really go through. So we sat there, and it got beyond 10 minutes, into 15, and thought, it's not going to happen. But she came back and said, we figured it out, and yes, you're cleared to go in. And she said, for some reason, the movement was delayed for some other reason, and so it hasn't started yet. So then it started, and we were escorted in, and went into the chapel, and then the inmates could start their movement, and then they came in. So the interesting thing about that is all of the causes and conditions that had to come into this particular moment for this all to happen, so that these inmates who practice Buddhism in prison were able to share and maybe learn a little bit about Buddhism. And so there were about, I would say maybe 6 of the inmates who had practiced and asked good questions and really knew a lot about Buddhism. And then there were a total of 19 people in the room. So some of them were very new to Buddhism. So, and very interested, it seemed like. So it was quite a lovely experience. And without, oftentimes, at least I think, that many times the obstacles are the authority, the guards, they don't want us in and whatever. And so on Saturday it was such a good, or it was Friday, it was such a good experience of meeting the kindness of the employees at the prison, and that really went out of their way to help us get in so that we could talk to the inmates that were Buddhists. So it was really a wonderful teaching for me, and quite a excellent experience.